Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HAMZA bin ZOHER, and today I'll be the somewhat moderator of our discussion today. So for our discussion today, we'll be talking about the issue how non-verbal communication can be taken wrongly by people, and in other words, interpreted wrongly by most people. So before we go in depth of our discussion, let me just explain briefly on what non-verbal communication means. So what non-verbal communication means is the process of using wordless messages to generate meaning. In other ways, it means that we don't really use like the physical words that we use in our daily life to interpret and send out messages to other people. But it's okay. For the topic today, we'll be talking about the issues behind non-verbal communication. But before we begin our discussion, I would like to call upon our panels to introduce themselves and just tell the audience about themselves a bit. So for the first one, I would like to call upon ALYA.
So my name is ALYA IZZATI and I'm from the C4A.
Alright, thank you, ALYA. Next is DURRATUL.
So hi, my name is DURRATUL FAQIHAH binti ABDUL HALIM and I'm from the C4E.
Assalamualaikum. My name is HAZEEQ ROSLAN and I'm also from the EC4A.
Alright, so all of our panels are from the EC4A. I am also from the EC4A, if you want to know. Alright, so we'll be proceeding to our discussion today. So our discussion today will include by our three panels stating problems we face in non-verbal communication, and we will also be giving the cause and effects and also solutions behind each of the problem we have. So for the first issue that we can find towards behind this non-verbal communication, I would like to call upon ALYA to give out her points.
Okay, so for nonverbal communication, there's a lot of problems in it, and one of the first problem that I'll be talking about today is non-word sounds, also known as filler. So the cause of filler is there's actually a lot of causes for fillers, but one of the most like highlighted cause of fillers is because of lack of confidence. When you lack of confidence, we tend to stutters or do like something like that. That is what we call as fillers. So what is the effect of having too much fillers when we talk? So the most common effect for fillers is people won't take us seriously because they look at us and they know that we lack of confidence when we talk or present. So they won't take us as seriously as they need to. So what is the solution to overcome this problem? Okay, I come up with a lot of solutions, but one of the most important solution is we need to brush up our communication skills, and before we have any kind of presentation or talk, we have to practice so that when we do our presentation and talk, we actually know what we're talking about. So the chances of having failures are less. So yeah, that's all for me.
Alright, thank you, ALYA. So the issue that has been brought by ALYA is about how we have fillers when we talk, when we give out our speech or something, which I believe relates a lot to our confidence. So in order to overcome that matter, it's really a matter of ourselves improving within our confidence, and it's just a matter of having a lot of practice and keep doing the same thing over and over again. Alright, so thank you, ALYA, for your explanation. So next we'll be going to DURRATUL on seeing what issue she would like to present to us today.
Okay, so hi. Today I'm going to talk about the facial expression. So there are like lots of causes for your facial expression that people usually take it in the wrong way. First of all is because you're exhausted or you're having a bad day or you're like stressed or anything. And the effect of your action is it's actually making people feel uncomfortable with you, because sometimes when you talk with your friend and you show your anger through your face, it's actually making them feel uncomfortable and feel like, you know, somehow can feel the anger in you. And then it also makes us look lack of confidence, like we are lack of confidence, because it shows at your face. For example, when you're giving public speaking, you're doing public speaking, and then you're showing like you are afraid to be on the stage. That you can see that from the face. Then people will not trust you from what you're trying to say. And from my opinion, how we can what is the solution for this problem is by learning how to control your emotion. And of course, we have to be professional by not mixing our personal problem and our work problem. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rotul. About her topic is mostly about how we control what we show on our face, which is mostly about facial expression, which I think is a very common issue within our community, because it's very, very easy to see what people are trying to show on their faces. Even sometimes it's just really their face, people will interpret it as being rude and being arrogant or being like not friendly with the people around us. So in a way, as a person ourselves, we should really try to understand that some people are just not having a good day every day of their lives. So it's just a matter of us understanding between each other. All right, okay, thank you, Durratul. So next we have HAZEEQ. Yes.
Assalamualaikum. So about non-verbal communication, and I'm going to touch about clothing. So clothing is one of the non-verbal and important non-verbal cues in our daily life. So clothing plays an important role. For example, if you want to do a corporate presentation, your clothing is your image. So what are the causes that people always do in terms of clothing? First, they are unprepared. For example, in the video that we made, we took an example of a tourist guide. The first tourist guide is unprepared. His clothing is very unprofessional compared to the other tourist guide in our video. So we can see that clothing plays an important part in terms of explaining and showing our professionalism. And the second one is maybe people see clothing as does not important in a speech or explanation. But then with our clothing, people has a different mindset to hear our explanation. What are the effects for clothing? If we are wearing not proper clothing during our presentation or our speech, maybe people will not take us seriously. But with a proper clothing, the presentation will be good and our explanation will be credible. And what are the possible solutions for this? First, we must be prepared before any presentation, before any speech. We can get ready our blazers, our coats, our proper shoes. But then the second one is we should take example from other people who made famous speech, so that we can learn from them and their clothing ethics. Yeah, that's all for me.
Right, thank you, Aiman. For the last point we have today is about clothing, which is, yes, I agree, plays a very important role in catering to the issue we see today, which is about non-verbal. So just imagine going up to a stage, just wearing very common, what commoners wear, round neck, short pants and slippers, and giving up a speech. I don't think that will attract anyone to listen to what you have to say on the speech itself. So yes, it plays a very important role. since all the panel have already given out their points and their ideas, so maybe there are any panels that would like to add as a conclusion to our topic discussed today.
I think all in all, non-verbal communication is important for us, especially students who learn language, obviously. But then other students who are learning any kinds of course of subjects must take this part seriously, because without non-verbal communication, a good non-verbal communication, people may not understand you properly.
Okay, all right. That will be all from us today. Thank you, Aiman, for the conclusion. So thank you for listening. Okay, I hope that our discussion today may or may have not may given you a few inputs that you can use in your daily life, and you can see the issues that we have in non-verbal communication, and we can improve ourselves from day to day. So that will be all from the four of us, me, myself, Hamza, ALYA, DURRATUL, and also Aiman. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.